Hey there, everybody. It's Ed Lemberger with some more metaphysical musing. And this one is about Andrew Yang versus the billionaire, Mike Bloomberg. And this is a metaphysical reading, as I mentioned. So, do I know what I'm talking about? I mean, who knows? But that doesn't matter because I've got this motto. It's your mind. Make sure it's you that's using it. And of course, that certainly applies here and to every other topic that you ever might have in your entire life. You've got to start using your own mind, making your own decisions, keeping your own counsel, strengthening your bond with the universal. All right, we've got the disclaimer out of the way. What's the difference between Andrew Yang and the rest of the field, especially the billionaires? I'm just going to focus on one billionaire this time, Michael Bloomberg. Okay, so Andrew Yang has the freedom dividend as one of the policies that he wants to enact and get moving in the United States of America. When you turn 18, you get $1,000 a month until you die. Circulation heals. Stagnation creates disease. Nature grows from the bottom up. So in order for us to grow our society as a healthy society, we've got to have the circulation of money from the bottom up. Now, nature also does something. Nature always gives. Nature gives us the breath of life all of the time. Creates and sustains us all of the time. So we receive before we can give anything. So in order for us to have a healthy society, money is the lifeblood of society. People believe in money more than they believe in anything else. So we've got to remineralize the flow of our soil base from the bottom up, with every individual having some ease of flow. And this is going to really calm things down in our country. And it's going to create a situation where more and more people are going to have better and better lives. So, Andrew Yang, freedom dividend. Now let's go to Michael Bloomberg, okay? Why is he running for president? Well, he saw an example in Donald Trump, another guy who's a billionaire, maybe, unless he's a fake billionaire. But I don't really know about Donald Trump, but it really doesn't matter because he knows how to get the flow of money in motion. I mean, he's been doing this his whole life. Whether he's got a lot of money or doesn't have a lot of money, he's an expert at moving money. Michael Bloomberg, a billionaire, they say he's got $58 billion. He's already spent $100 million on television ads. Now, he said he's going to spend maybe up to $500 million, or that's some of the prognostications, on running this campaign, which basically, who cares? I mean, because if he's got $58 billion, spending $500 million, what's that? I mean, he's not going to be going off the dollar menu at any fast food place, anytime soon. So, what is he getting, though, for his money? To me, he's really trying to purchase attention energy from Americans coming into him. And what do I mean by that? He already knows how to move money into him. $58 billion. I mean, he's a master at getting the flow lines of money to be donated into him. He's the center of the vortex when it comes to this $58 billion that he's amassed. And he's the receiver, and all of his tentacles are out there everywhere. and we are the donors. You can't be a billionaire without having lots of donors out there. The billionaires are the receivers. Michael Bloomberg is the receiver. The rest of us, donors. Now you say, well, he's spending $500 million on this presidential campaign. Now, who is he giving this $500 million to? Eventually, if he does spend that much, it goes to the television and advertising industry the most. Okay? So, he could have put $500 million into, let's just even take New York, because he was the mayor of New York. Why didn't he give $500 million to New York City and to maybe build some new schools for people in disadvantaged neighborhoods? But even when you build new schools, and even if he would have spent $500 million of his own money to build new schools, still, that's institutional money, and it doesn't go to each individual like Andrew Yang's Freedom Dividend does. Freedom Dividend goes to all individuals so they can participate in the flow of resources that people believe in the most, which is money. Now, there's another flow dynamic. And when I said metaphysical, and when I talked about the source energy that creates and sustains us, we shine this energy out. And there's a phenomenon that I believe I understand. Some people question this phenomenon. I don't. And that is the flow of human energy from human to other humans. And anytime there's a flow, there's a receiver and a donor. And a lot of times this flow goes back and forth. But in the case of a guy like Bloomberg, when he's purchasing TV ads, he's putting his face in front of us, and then we think about him a little bit, and we move some of our thought energy into him, and he's actually in the center of a vortex of human energy. He's collecting that too. So now he's collected money and been the focal point for the flow of the distribution of money to the tune of $58 billion. Now he wants the flow of human source energy, attention energy, that you can only get if you're really famous. So he's putting his noggin in front of everybody again. So we think about him and give our thought energy into this man, Michael Bloomberg. Now, what tipped me off to the fact that, Michael might be trying to leverage source energy out of people is when he was mayor of New York City, he wanted to make some situation where I think it was restaurants or somebody, they couldn't sell a soda that was over 16 ounces. So he wanted to restrict everybody from buying more than 16 ounces of soda at one time. All right? This type of a restriction. And he kind of used it as, well, it's unhealthy to drink that much sugar water. So I think it went all the way to the New York top court or something like that, where they kind of struck it down. But anybody who does something like that, that is a cultish leader type of behavior. Because he wants to restrict all these humans. Every time you buy a soda, you couldn't even buy more than 16 ounces. And there's the causative mind that engages other minds to do their bidding, what they want done. The minds that do the bidding are the minds that are in effect. Any mind that goes into effect from a mind that is the causative mind, the mind that's in effect, sends a stream of energy to the causative mind. That's really how a cult works. The cult leader engages the minds of the followers. The minds start streaming energy into that cult leader. And because nature starts to build pathways every time the thoughts move from the mind in effect to the mind that is the causative mind, a path gets built stronger and stronger. And then the leader is leveraging energy from all of the followers. And in effect, Bloomberg, maybe he knew he was doing this, but maybe not, because people do things on a subconscious basis all of the time. So not only did Bloomberg want to receive all this money, he wants to receive all the source energy from people too. So, and he's willing to spend all this money in running for president, but he doesn't know what he's going to do once he becomes president. He's not going to help the people. This is all about himself. He probably wants this energy because it feels good to get so much attention energy from other people. And he's at that age, just like Donald Trump. They're both at that age where probably their, human energy as a man in the place that they want it to happen the most probably ain't happening so good anymore. And that's why I'm a little suspect of Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang. I'm a little suspect of Michael Bloomberg trying to come in there against a guy like Andrew Yang, because Andrew Yang doesn't have any of that stuff. He's not trying to leverage energy from people. He's trying to give energy from the bottom up. So hopefully I've explained this enough for you to get the picture. Michael Bloomberg, a guy who's trying to gain more and more fame because he can gain more and more attention energy from people. And a guy like Andrew Yang, who is trying to go all the way down to the bottom with every human being, giving them some resource where they can contribute to the flow of society, to society's growth and well-being. So I'm Ed Lemberger, and my buddy Brett Favre behind me, he went on a coffee break. I told him, I'm going to do a little talking here. You go on a coffee break, and I'll come back to you a little bit later. And so, Andrew Yang, he's the man. We've got to have this happen. It's a paradigm shift. And this is a paradigm shift that must happen. No other candidate has this paradigm shift. The only guy that does is Andrew Yang. Everybody else is talking 20th century stuff that got us into the place we're at right now, to get us out of it and to really move forward in the 2020s, 2030s, and beyond. This operating system shift must happen where there's more circulation right from the bottom up. So thank you for viewing. Thank you for pressing like. Thank you for pressing share. And I'll see you again in the next video. Adios.